Hi everyone, welcome back to the Crypto Carlos Fandango YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to configure the ReadyNAS 2100 slightly differently. As you may remember, I've changed from RAID 5 to RAID 0 on my units recently, and this was because I wanted to get the additional disk space to make the units more efficient. The only problem is I couldn't find the JBOD option within the ReadyNAS software, so I went with the RAID 0 option, which meant it was striping the data across all 4 drives. So in the event of any drive failure, single drive failure, I would have lost the data across all 4 drives. Now, when those drives have got 8 or 6 terabyte drives in them, that's a lot of CHIA plots to lose. So I did a little bit of digging and I had made a mistake. You can create JBOD volumes on individual disks in the ReadyNAS software, and I've already done this on my 4x8 terabyte NAS unit. So moving on to my 6 terabyte unit, I thought I'd go through it and show you how to do it. Because with that option, obviously each disk is its separate volume. So it means if that disk dies, you only lose the data that's on that disk and not the other 3, which is brilliant. So let's have a look at how we do that. So going to the screen, as you can see, 4 6 terabyte SATA drives, currently RAID 0, and we've got a volume. This has got data on it, but I have already copied that data off, so we're at the point where we can delete this volume now. I'm not worried about losing the data that's on there. Now, before we start, obviously, it's up to you what you do on your NAS units. You might feel happy, as I did originally with RAID 5, so you can hot swap drive bays and be comfortable with not having the full disk capacity available to you. Personally, I think with the fact that the drives are idle 97% of the time, and they're not being constantly written to, the drives are going to last longer. You're going to get stability. So I've made the personal decision to go to this JBOD configuration on all my drives, each one a separate volume, so that I can get the full disk capacity out for my CHIA plotting. But you do what's right for you and investigate properly before you do it. Okay, so we just need to go up to here. There's a destroy option, and it'll make sure that you type in the word destroy before it allows you to do it. And once we click that, this will get rid of all the data and all the volume information, and we will be left with these 6 terabyte SATA drives blank and ready to reconfigure. It doesn't take very long. And this has been a much better way to do it. What I've found is that I've been able to create a separate share for each drive as well, which, in my plotting and harvester machine is, easily visible in Windows Explorer, and you can see the state of the data across each drive. Seems to be a lot better for me. Anyway, that's reset everything now. Now, the mistake I was making before is I was switching on all 4 drives and then creating a new volume, and it was only giving me RAID options available, 0, 2, 10, or whatever. But if you do it individually, so click the first disk, click new volume, and it warns you that you're not going to have any disk protection at all, and click yes. Aha! We have a JBOD option, and it's the default. So now you just give it a name for that particular volume. So I've been just calling them something like that. Volume JBOD disk 1, I think that says behind there, I can't see it. And just naming the disks appropriately like that. I've not bothered with any of this other information at all. Click next. Not bothered with any of the other preferences here for quota and shares and all that sort of stuff, and just click create. And once again, it doesn't take very long to do that, and you'll see the first volume appear here. But what I would advise you to do before you go on and click the second one is to hit the refresh button up here. It sometimes doesn't sort itself out properly, and you won't see all your volumes here. So now we click the second one. It'll change this box on the left here and say, oh, do you want to expand your volume, whatever? No, we're creating a new one again. And we just continue with this. Volume, get out of the way. JBOD disk 2. And this will disappear, and hopefully we'll see both volumes there, like we have there. But again, I'm going to click refresh because sometimes it doesn't look quite right. And you can see out of a 6 terabyte drive, we're getting about 5.45 terabytes left. Now the next one. See, it hasn't refreshed there, but if I click the refresh button, we've got the 3 now. So time for the last one. Give it a quick refresh. And there we have it. So before I go on to creating the shares on each of these volumes, I'm just going to do some scheduled tasks on it. Now, not really required for a disk that's going to have data copied to it once, and it's going to be static, but I want to keep an eye on these drives, and it'd be good to get some idea if they're starting to fail. So what we can do is we can click volume schedule off the cog menu, and if we click add here, we can add a scrub action to this. And what I've been doing is I've been setting this up on all my drive volumes. So at the moment, I'm going to start on this one. We're going to have the 15th of each month at 1 o'clock is going to do a scrub and just test the volume and report any issues with it. And then we'll do the same to the second one. I'll do that on a different day, on the 16th. On the third disk, we'll do it on the 17th. On the last disk on the 18th. So the sort of second half of the month, I've got my other drives being scrub tested. So that's that part. Right, now we're going to create some shares. And what will happen if I go to shares is you'll see we now have 4 volumes. And we create those new shares against each volume. So I've got a little naming convention already in use. So I'm just going to extend with the actual disk name as well. So they're all going to be called something similar to that. Leave it on the SMB protocol. No other options chosen. And there's my share created. So we'll do one on the second disk now. And then the third. And the last disk. 4. And there we go. So we've got a share created against each disk volume, 1 to 4. And that will be available to you in Windows. So the next thing that I would do is I would assign my account, my security account, to these shares by going into the cog menu, into settings, and then into security. I'm not going to show you that for obvious reasons, but that's the final thing that you would do so that you can then reference it in your Windows operating system, and have your harvester work off of it and your plotter plot to it. So that is it. It's as simple as that. For me, it seems to be a much better way of doing it. I can see exactly what's going on, and I know that the worst that's going to happen is I'm going to lose one disk and lose the data on it. It won't take long to plot that back, but I'm confident it's going to be stable anyway. So I hope that's been of interest and of use to you. Let me know in the comments how you get on if you decide to try it. But in the meantime, please subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and give the video a thumbs up if you can. It all helps to grow the channel, and I really appreciate it. So I'll see you the next time.